Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Elaine. I appreciate you coming by. Well, I have done maybe 35 videos in these last few months, so I'm still getting my feet wet, and some of my friends have told me that they would actually like to see me do the project. You know, a lot of the things that I've done, I have shown you the finished product. And, for me, I don't know, maybe it's simpler because I can do it, I can walk away from it, come back to it, you know how it is. Sometimes you gotta let things dry for a while. Like the video I did the other day with the envelopes. I mean, there are times when your whole kitchen table is just covered with envelopes that you've painted, and they just need to dry before you can do the next layer. And I'm still learning my camera, so editing and stuff is going to be a process for me. But I thought today I would give it a try. And excuse me. And we are going to try to work with this canvas. This is the canvas that I actually used as a tablecloth. If you watched my videos when I did those 2 little local craft fairs, this was the edging on the material that had been given to me, and I saved it thinking that I would use it for something one day. And this is going to be the day. I had shown you a while back a catalog that I was working on, turning it into a journal. Well, when I went to that stamp show the other day with Dee and Pam, I took it with me. I wanted their opinions. They've done journals, different types of journals, junk journals, vintage journals, for a little while. And I've always done journals that are already made. The pages are already bound in some sort of fashion. But this time I was taking that catalog, and of course I'd pulled the staples out of it, and I wanted to get their opinion on whether I should do any kind of reinforcement to the spine. And anyway, so I took it along to ask them, and while we were having lunch I went and got it. And if you remember, this is it. And this is also, I mentioned to you in my last video with the collaborative that I'm doing with Cool Cakes and Crafts with Amalia. We set goals, what we want to do this year. And this is the project that I want to work on when I go to a Saturday retreat here in a couple of weeks. I want to go on and get this finished. I've done a lot to it, but I still need to do a cover, which is going to be some fabric that I have. And anyway, this is what I want to work on. But anyway, back to when we were together. So they made me laugh so hard. They opened it up and they both went to screaming. I was like, oh heavens, it's not that bad, is it? Well, they both wanted it. And what the deal is for Pam is that she is taking a trip to Alaska. And she is very much a vintage journal person, but I'm talking like crisp and detailed, and this is collagey, and some places a little bit of a mess. So she says that this is something that she can't do, and I believe that. So anyway, she was interested in purchasing it from me, and I need to get it finished. But I have an idea about putting that canvas as kind of the book plate on it. So I ran it by her, and she's good with that. That's probably going to be about the last detail I ask her about. Otherwise, I know I'm pretty good on the theme and everything. So what I want to do today is go ahead and see if I can do the medallion that I want to do on this fabric and how it turns out. Now, these are the two medallions that I want to use. This one, and what I have done, kind of poorly here, is I have masked off the bottom of that Tim Holtz stamp that all of this other stuff won't show when I go to put it in the Versamark. Because this one, I'm going to do powder embossing on it. So, all right, and then the other one that I want to do is this one. And this one I am just going to ink. Got to see which side is north. Alrighty. So those are the two that I want to give a shot on this fabric. And the one with the small medallion, it's called Air Travel on the Stamper Anonymous, the Tim Holtz collection. And this one is called Classic Number 1. Also Stampers Anonymous with Tim Holtz. So let me get those out of the way here. Alrighty, so this first one we're going to do is I'm just going to stamp with that small one. And I'm just going to use a small stamp pad here. Usually I use a larger one. Now I have dropped some ink on this, so I hope it works. But I'm not so sure, only because it is canvas. I don't know really how juicy a pad is going to need to be on the stamp to get it to do. And I do have a little bit more of this fabric, and I'm sure I can always go and buy some. So let's give this a shot. Let me breathe on it here 1 second. Alrighty. Now my plan also on this is then to stitch around it, attaching it to the fabric front cover. Let's see. Alright, well, kind of light. Would have liked it to have been darker, but it is what it is. Like I said, I did put some re-inker on my ink pad. Not so sure about that, so that's that. Alright, so now the next one I want to do, and my stamp does not want to stick here. It is a cling stamp, I guess maybe because I have that tape down there. Alrighty. And oh, let me get sidetracked here for 1 second. On every one of my acrylic blocks, I have put a substance that when you have red rubber unmounted stamps and you put them on your block, I'm not sure how everyone else does it, but I bought this stuff where it is like a cling. I'm not sure you can see it, but I do. You can peel this off, but the side that sticks to the acrylic block is like really like super sticky. And you adhere that to the block, and then what I did is I then cut it, or actually I traced it, well, because that side is yellow, and so I traced the block and then put it on and then cut it, I guess. But when the sticky side that holds your stamp, you know, it will get dirty and gunked up with ink and just crud. That's okay, because all you do is run it under running water, get all that off of there, and then let it air dry, and then put your adhesive or your covering back on it. And I have never had to change these. They've always worked for me. It's on every acrylic stamp. And this is what I use. It's called Tack and Peel. And I'm trying to get this where you can see without the reflection. Here, maybe. Tack and Peel. And as you can see, this is a pack where I just have scraps left mostly. Because it is expensive. I save it. I don't know what I'll ever do with those scraps, but you never know. Something will come up. But I'm not sure where you can buy this in the stores. I've had this for many years on my blocks. I'm sure probably Amazon would have it. I think I paid like $6 or $7 for each pack of this. But like I said, it's been well worth it to me. You know, hopefully that's the last I have to buy. All right, well, anyway, let's get to this other piece of canvas. And what I want to do now with this one is I want to powder emboss it. So I'm going to take my little sacks here and daub. So I hope that's good enough. Alrighty, now let's take, kind of made a fog on that one. Let's take my Versamark, and I'm going to do it this way so I can see what I'm doing. I do want to get every bit of the stamp. Okay, I think that's good. And then I'm going to peel this back, because if I don't peel this back, I don't think the stamp will touch. Alright, fingers crossed. So, let's do this. And what I have underneath of this canvas is just scrap paper that I've gotten from work or from home. It's good. I don't feel bad about throwing it away then. Lots of it sometimes I'll cut up to just make scratch paper at work. But sometimes I end up with so much. Alright, so let's lift that off and let's see now. Let's pour the embossing powder on it. Fingers crossed, everybody. Like I said, I like to show you the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I'm not sure which this is going to be. Alright, let's see. We'll pour as much of this back in the jar as we can. Alright, I see one thing. I don't think my little... Yes, it did. I was afraid my little powder was not going to work. Alright, for the sake of time, we are going to just simply pull this away. I will take care of that later. So let's bring this back in and let's now heat emboss. So I'm going to do this real quick, hopefully. I'm sorry about the sound. But let's see how this goes. I do see like some fabric little pieces kind of fraying around. Kind of adds character to it. Now remember, my old friends here asked me to do this where they see the process, and so hold on, sit tight. We're doing the process for you. Alright, I see the embossing powder now kind of starting to melt. So that's good. It's not turning out to be too bad. You can see the north and the south, a little bit the west. Trying to see if I can tell if the embossing powder is all melted. As I said, I've never done this on fabric before. So, I kind of like it. I might have been able to take a brush and clean it up a little bit. But, I kind of like the speckles around it. So if I don't use it on this journal, I can always use it in something in the future. And again, I plan on, like I said, stitching around it. And adding it to the cover. And I will show you that finished journal. I know I've shown it to y'all a couple of times. I will show you that finished journal. You know, I've only ever done one other journal where I made everything myself. And that was when I used the blueprints and I did it for Nick the Booksmith's challenge. And that was fun. So, and then when I found that catalog and that paper felt like that, I said, okay. But I have put a lot of time and effort into it. Alrighty, we're just going to call that a day. So I'm not sure. What do y'all think? It's not really too bad. You can tell it's a compass. Like I said, I might have needed to clean it up a little bit, but I kind of like it. So that is embossing powder on this canvas. And this was just plain old StazOn ink. This fabric also has not been laundered or dry cleaned. So it might have helped some if I had done that. Not really sure. This way it's kind of stiff and hard, and if I had washed it, it may not have, it might make it fluffier. Anyway, that's what I wanted to show you today. And, I don't want my video to go on forever. So, let me know if you like what I'm up to and what I'm doing. And as I continue to say, tell your friends that you never know what she's going to be doing. And come back and see me. I appreciate, you taking your time to watch me. And I don't know, maybe I'll do some more of these. This really wasn't so bad once I kind of got into it. And again, I like showing you the good, the bad, and the ugly. So, y'all stay safe and y'all stay warm. And I will see you all down the road somewhere. I know our paths will cross someday. Thank you much. Bye.